Dueling Dialogues is brought to you by our affiliates at hostpapa.com. Click the banner on the rightleftchronicles.com for premium unlimited web hosting with the highest rated reviews at the lowest prices. Coming to you from that once-forgotten artery that pulses through the center of the continental United States and into the heart of the Ozarks, Grace Matthews. Looking in from the northern border, our Canadian friend, along with his countrymen feeling the effects of U.S. political issues, Connor Murphy.
And then we'll go la-di-da-di-da to see if it's going.
Yeah. Okay, we're rolling now.
Okay.
Welcome to Dueling Dialogues, episode 124. I'm Connor Murphy, here with Grace Matthews. Hi, Grace. How you doing?
I'm doing really well.
Good.
Looks
Good.
like a storm is a-brewing in the Ozarks, but
Really?
I'm all snug as a bug in a rug talking to you.
Well, we had a horrible weekend of rain and cool temperatures and fog, but everybody just stayed inside and ate turkey and ate more turkey and ate more turkey. So,
I love turkey, though.
Yeah, I never get sick of turkey.
Yeah, I don't either. It's delicious. Do you guys make dressing, too?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mashed potatoes, my favorite.
Yes. Yeah.
I love mashed potatoes.
Sweet potato, and then I did my broccoli sprouts with onion and a drizzle of olive oil, drizzle of lemon juice, and chopped up bacon raw. And you just throw
I could get rid of the bacon, but yum.
Salt and pepper, toss it all, throw it in the oven. The bacon's key. If you don't put bacon in it, it ain't going to work out the way you want.
Well, I use Jewish bacon.
Well, yeah, that would still work. Yeah, and just, throw it in a cookie tray and toss it under the turkey.
Ooh, I'll try that.
An hour and a half later, depending on what your turkey's doing in the oven, you've got the most amazing Brussels sprouts. I've had people that never eat Brussels sprouts all their life taste mine and go, those are amazing.
Well, I roast them, sometimes with balsamic and vinegar.
Oh, yeah, that'll work too.
Delicious.
Yeah.
I love Brussels sprouts. It's one of my favorite. And then when we do it, and you know how there's little crunchy parts that fall off the side. Well, my little granddaughter eats those, and she calls them crunchies. I want some crunchies. She has no idea how healthy they are.
Yeah. Well,
now we made everybody hungry.
Yes, well, Thanksgiving's over now, and I'll be eating turkey for the next week, so all is good.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. But
what are we talking about today?
Oh my goodness! Well, we have a lot of listeners in Missouri, a lot in the Ozarks, and we're getting close to midterms. So I just want to take a little minute to say, Josh Hawley's got to do some talking.
Yeah.
He's going to beat Claire McCaskill, and we need the seat in D.C. So he's been talking a lot about Judge Kavanaugh because at one time he was actually one of his clerks.
Okay.
For Kavanaugh. But what people are nervous about is his view on pre-existing conditions. He has made some rulings as Attorney General that suggests that he believes that insurance companies should not cover or not have to cover people with pre-existing conditions. Wow. And when they say pre-existing, sometimes they can be rather wimpy. For example, a lot of people have high cholesterol and high blood pressure.
Right.
I mean, if they're treated, they're not that bad and should certainly not get you dropped by an insurance company.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a pretty minor thing.
Yeah, it really is. And although I haven't had one of those yet, they're very common.
Right.
So when the president was here speaking, he said that Josh Hawley was not going to be against people with pre-existing conditions. But Josh Hawley needs to say it himself.
Right. So he
because
has
people are
not
getting
followed
nervous.
Up. Okay.
A week ago, he had gained 8 points. We talked about that on Friday, right?
Right.
Well, as of yesterday evening, they're neck and neck.
Oh,
Him and Claire McCaskill. So he has got to talk about health insurance.
Right.
Because that's kind of like the next big thing.
Right. Well, is Vicky coming back this week?
Yes, she is coming back at the end of the week, and we will again try to talk about health insurance. Hopefully, something doesn't explode.
Yeah.
That we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Sometimes breaking news, we just have to.
It kind of happened last week because we had full intentions in talking about healthcare with Vicky, and boom, the Kavanaugh thing overshadowed everything. So.
Yeah, and she agreed.
Yeah.
She agreed we needed to talk about that, so she was a very good sport and went right along with us.
Yeah, looking forward to having her back on Friday.
Yeah, and I think we all got a bit of a surprise this morning.
Yeah.
Because Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, resigned.
Yeah, that was a shocker.
Yeah, I think the most remarkable thing about this is that she had told the president 6 months ago and nobody leaked it.
Yeah, that's amazing, especially in what we have going on now. Everybody's leaking everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she had written a letter on October 3rd. No, September 3rd, I believe it was. So the fact that it didn't leak was amazing.
Yeah.
She's tired, and she's going out on top, which is what everyone should do.
Right.
People a lot of times stay too long. She said America is strong again.
Yeah.
And so that's what I took away, and I agree with her. America is in a much stronger position than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And you know what's happening this morning, too, is Conway is on his way to the White House. So I believe this is the beginning of Kim Kardashian, ambassador to the UN.
Please, no. Oh, my gosh.
Most of the people...
Kardashians take the UN.
Yeah.
It's going to be a new...
reality series, yeah.
Yeah, a new reality series. Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
No, a lot of people with the Trump derangement syndrome, or as I like to call it, TDS, they feel that probably Ivanka is going to get that position, and they're already starting to freak out. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't think he would name his daughter. I don't think that would be a good idea.
Probably not, but he's done crazier stuff.
Oh, I'm not going to say he hasn't, but I'm saying in the current climate after the Kavanaugh situation, oh, please don't.
Yeah. Well, I think he should appoint Oprah.
Yeah, that would be great. How about Hillary, so she could go through and we could get an investigation on her as she tried to get confirmed?
No, I said he did crazier things, not insane things. Yeah.
Well, I do think Nikki Haley's done a great job. I am very sad to see her go.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Kavanaugh situation, thank goodness it's over, at least until they try to impeach him.
Right.
Judge Brett Kavanaugh Saturday evening became Juris Kavanaugh.
Cool. Right on. Yeah,
so I confirmed.
I didn't see that happening with what was going on right before that, but it looks like people looked at some facts before voting this time, maybe.
Yeah, it's like the skin of their teeth.
Yeah.
That's my mom used to say.
Yeah,
it was very close. And CNN has gone back to interviewing Stormy Daniels and discussing our president's penis. I mean, they had her book, and she was on that show last night. Yeah. And that's where they went. CNN is really going downhill, and I think that's sad.
Well, nothing else is working, so when in doubt, attack the president's penis, I guess.
Yeah. Really, most of us out here, we really don't care.
Yeah, well, if they really wanted Canadian fans, they'd, put a target on Trudeau's back, and I would maybe start watching CNN again. No, I wouldn't. No. What am I saying? Yeah.
I tell you what, the day I start worrying about a 74-year-old man's penis, just lock me up someplace.
Yeah.
Just give me a little art brush and lock me up.
Yes. This conversation is deflating, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. But yesterday, speaking of, Trump does do some interesting things. He put Rod Rosenstein on Air Force One with him to fly to Orlando, where he addressed some policemen, some fraternal order of policemen, to have that conversation they were supposed to have about a week ago about, did Rod Rosenstein joke about invoking the 25th Amendment, or was he serious? The president says Rod Rosenstein's fine, he still has a job. But can you imagine Rod Rosenstein being locked up in that plane?
Well, has anybody seen him? Has anybody seen him since he got on the plane?
Well, fortunately, we have. But good question.
Right. Yeah.
So apparently, James Baker, a blast from the past. I mean, all those guys are turning on each other.
Surprise,
the Stroke,
surprise.
The Page, the McCabe, the Comey, all those people. Well, now a new player is in here. Well, he's not new. He's an old guy that's come back. James Baker, who was an attorney for the FBI, he says that he took Rod Rosenstein as serious. He said very serious when he was talking about the 25th Amendment and wiring someone and getting some cabinet members on board to help invoke the 25th Amendment, which would basically, you would invoke if the president is not of sound mind.
Right.
That's a nice way of saying crazy.
Yes.
Okay. But as with all things, first of all, though, letting him go before midterms would be a mistake. So I don't think this is a free pass for Rod Rosenstein.
No.
But who knows? Or he is going to testify in front of the Congressional Committee on Thursday.
Okay. Huh.
About this incident and other things. So is the president just stepping aside and saying to Congress, you take care of this problem?
Yeah, well, it's their job. They should be,
They don't usually do their job.
On the other hand, everybody's scrambling to protect their own $10 to $12 million, right? So they're going to say whatever the hell they need to say to protect themselves. So this is going to be quite the shit show going on here shortly.
Oh, well, heck it. Yeah, we're going to be back to all of these guys, I think. Since the Kavanaugh situation is over, you're looking at things really heating up with these, with the FBI and the DOJ, old business, new business.
Right.
What did they know? When did they know it? And who was involved?
Yeah, absolutely. Needs to be dealt with.
And this James Baker coming forward this morning, if it's any indication, is going to get uglier. Yeah,
well, for sure it's going to be ugly. The people with derangement syndrome are going to be flipping out, thinking it's a big conspiracy.
That's the problem. They are flipping out. And, the politicians have got to quit fueling the fire. Last Friday, and I guess really prior to last Friday, Brian Kilmeade of Fox News, he's on the morning show, Fox and Friends, was followed and heckled all day into the subway. Supposedly it was a couple of comedians. They really got down and dirty, got the crowd involved, and it's very dangerous. These news people are not going to be able to ride the subway anymore. And they're not going to be able to be without security,
wow.
I fear. It was very bad. It's on tape. It was scary. When you watch the tape, you wonder what's going to happen next, and if some crazy person's not going to jump out of the crowd and hurt him.
Yeah, that is a really scary thought. Can you imagine as a journalist having to do that, have security? Seriously?
No.
Yeah.
I know you have to be careful.
Oh, absolutely.
When you say anything in the public, just writing books, you can get nutheads after you. I've had that issue before. So maybe I shouldn't be surprised with the fact that it is becoming so prevalent, and they're taping themselves.
Yeah.
They feel they can do it and get away with it.
They have
Maybe that's
before.
the part that surprises me.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. They have.
So why not do the same thing as what you saw going viral 2 months ago when they were hassling somebody else?
Exactly.
It's wrong. It needs to be stopped. I mean, that's just public bullying.
It is public bullying. And typically by people that on the left that say they're against bullying and say they're for everyone, that they're for all the fringe groups, Well, they're only for the people in the fringe that will support them.
Yeah, or think exactly like them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I worry about things getting out of hand, and I also am concerned about people that can't live normal lives. I mean, this is their job. I realize that in a lot of cases they make a lot of money, but it doesn't change the fact that they have spouses, kids, friends, and they have the right to live their life.
Right.
Because remember, we have something called freedom of speech.
Yeah, I remember what that was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to wonder if we still have it.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Because when people are saying stuff, they're saying it on Twitter, on Facebook, and those platforms are basically stripping those comments out, having people report, oh, it offended me, so the post was removed, and you can't say what you really are thinking anymore. It's already done. Facebook and Twitter are doing our thinking.
Yeah, well, and Google.
Yeah, Google too.
If we didn't get censored by Google and Twitter, we'd probably our show would be probably twice as big.
Yeah, no kidding. But
and we are very careful. We don't put anything offensive.
No, but if it's pro-Trump, if it's pro-Trump, we're getting punished. So
yeah, we are. So
that's
I'm
a reality.
hoping that it stops. I have noticed in the past couple of weeks it's a little better. But when you Google our show and the sites that have our show, none of the political stuff comes up.
Yeah.
If a book's been reviewed or there's a recipe on, for example, Shenanigan Free Press, that all shows up.
Right.
Well, and Alexa has even quit ranking the sites with the political stuff on it.
Yeah, I noticed that too. So there you go.
Yeah.
Free
and
speech.
Google, they've got a lot of money.
Yeah, they can do what they want.
Yeah, they just axed a deal with the Pentagon over principle. They shut down a $10 billion deal with the Pentagon where they were supposed to store some cybersecurity Jedi information in the cloud. And they said no, that it went against too many of their employees. Now, you sort of had an interesting take on that too, but
why would the Pentagon want storage for information with a corporation off-site? That's
especially Google.
That's like opening up Hillary's email server to the world. Which, hey, wait a minute, that happened, didn't it? Yeah, so I'm like, good for you, Google. You shouldn't have that information anyways. Like, I'm not sure who's doing the thinking there, but there's a whole bunch of problem rolled up into even that thought of, storing that information off-site somewhere owned by a corporation that you don't control. Really?
Yeah. You've got a point.
I'm sitting here shaking my head.
Sometimes people are doing things for their own reasons, and sometimes they can save you from yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this is one of those cases. I think you've got a really good point.
Yeah, I mean, that should not have even been discussed. I mean, anybody in IT or any kind of technical service would know that that's not a good idea.
Yeah, and bless your heart, being a man and all. You actually thought of that?
Yeah, I'm very
you're
careful.
Practically extinct.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. Yeah, decline. On the decline.
Yeah, you die 5 years quicker than women.
Yeah, well, that's always
by the
kind
time
of
we
been
get to be 85, there's 2 women for every man.
Yeah.
I don't want to share a man with any 85-year-old woman, okay?
Yeah, that's, you know, most of that is attributed to us saying, here, hold my beer and watch this.
Exactly, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you know, eventually when the men are extinct, I don't know, will the women survive? There's lots of interesting information out there that suggests they might. That, you know, they can figure out how to do it without men, but sperm counts are lower than ever.
Well, I think they started talking about that even back in the 80s, that men's sperm count was declining. And then many thought it was just the genes of choice for 80s wear were too tight.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Everybody's sitting around their puffy pants, so that's probably not it.
Or their pants hanging down to their knees, yeah.
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah. I hate that. But it is concerning because I would not want to live on a planet with just women. You know, it takes me back to that Jurassic Park thing where he goes, well, we only have females, so they can't reproduce. Oh, yeah? Well, the females figured out how to reproduce.
Right. Nature will find its own way. And this, I think, is just part of the problem is the world is becoming overpopulated and nature's stepping in to basically cull the population down, you know?
Well, the Earth will survive.
Yes. Oh, yeah, no matter what. It'll still be there. It may look like Mars.
If it has to get rid of us to do it, it will do it.
Yeah,
you know?
If it's got to look like Mars in 10 years, then so be it. I mean, 10 years. On an evolutionary scale, we're just a tiny speck on the scale.
Exactly. We are just very tiny.
We like to think that we're more important than that, but really, in the big picture, we are not. So,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. I did hear something, I think it was put out by the Mirror in the UK, that Theresa May has not said no to possibly selling their national healthcare system to Trump.
Are you kidding me?
No, I read that this morning. So I thought that we should look into that before Vicky's here.
Friday?
Yeah. Because,
oh man, I thought you were joking.
Because I don't know what that looks like. Socialized medicine with an owner. I think there's a lot broken there. Yeah. So
it's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you caught me a little off guard with that one. That is very interesting.
I saw it just before we started recording today, so of course I didn't think about it till now, so sorry, but we should definitely.
Oh, that's okay. Very interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we don't always agree, but life's a journey and we're all in this together. Thanks for listening. Godspeed, Connor, and Godspeed to all of our friends out there.
Godspeed, Grace, and thanks for listening.
Dueling Dialogues is brought to you by our affiliates at hostpapa.com. Click the banner on the rightleftchronicles.com for premium unlimited web hosting with the highest rated reviews at the lowest prices.